A lot of guys are wondering whether they should dorm or not, if it's worth it, because it is expensive. I'm not going to lie. It's usually double your term bill, and some schools even make you get a meal plan, so that's an additional thing to keep in mind when being ready to pay for it. But if you do have the money to dorm, I would recommend dorming at least 1 year in college. There are a lot of benefits that come with dorming. You will get experience in areas that you probably need it in. For example, socializing, learning how to live with others, and overall just independence. These three things put together will ultimately make you a stronger man. Do you have to dorm all 4 years? No. I think you should dorm your first year, and this is how I would go about doing it. If I was an incoming freshman in your shoes, this is how I would go about dorming. Ideally, you go into housing with at least one person you know, but if you don't, if you're going out of state or you're going to a completely different part of the world, to a college where you don't know a single person, fill out that roommate sheet as early as possible. That way you can get the best match for your roommates. And I know a lot of guys don't think it's that big of a deal, or that they can kind of delay this process, but let me tell you, I've switched roommates multiple times. Having good roommates is key to having a good experience during your dorming session. If you have the best dorm possible, the best location, but you have roommates that are up all night, or roommates that just don't work with your schedule, and you guys get in each other's way, you will hate the experience, and you'll honestly just try to come home every weekend. Do not get yourself into that situation. Be completely honest of what you expect from your roommates and what time you'd prefer to go to bed at, and just, you need to figure out a way to get like-minded people with you. They don't even have to be the same major per se, but just in terms of scheduling, that's like the biggest thing. And have people that you can trust and are easy to get along with. As soon as you move in, you're going to spend some time with your roommates and actually get to know them, see what some of their hobbies are, and try to work out with them or go play basketball, whatever common ground you can make with them, especially the one you're sharing your bedroom with. This person you have to trust at all times, because he's literally going to see you more than any other person. He's going to be in your personal space, so you have to get okay with him being there. Once you're done establishing a good relationship with everybody in your room, it's time for you to move on to your next task, which is talking to everybody on your floor. You could have up to like 40 other kids on your floor, because there's probably 4 people per room, at least 10 rooms on your floor. Talk to everybody, get to know everybody on your floor, boys and girls, and you could kind of get a sense of who you want to start a friend group around. And when you pick them out, the people that you want in your group, introduce them to the other people that are in the group that you want. Have a socialization event. Try to get them all in the same location at one time. You can't just add them all to one group chat and expect them to get along and be super open to communicate with one another. If there's a pool table on your floor or in their building, get everyone to meet there. Or there's even floor meetings that happen, so if you can get everyone to sit next to each other during the floor meeting and then introduce everyone to one another, say, hey, I'm him, oh, I met him, he's a super good person, oh, I met this girl, she's super cool, she has the same sports hobbies as you. Like, whatever way you can find a way to connect them to one another and make them feel comfortable, that's a great start. And once everybody's together and everybody's having a good time, and you can understand that everyone will work well with one another, you can create a group chat, and now you have a friend group to go out with, friend group to party with, get food, whatever. I'm not the biggest party person per se, but going out your freshman year is essential. I feel like you need to get it all out of your system. You have to go to the parties, see what nightlife is like, and try to enjoy it to the best of your ability. If you don't like it and you think it's a waste of time, then by all means stop going. But a lot of people like to party their freshman year, especially those who didn't have that experience in high school. They weren't able to go to parties because of either strict parents or they just simply weren't invited. Now they have the opportunity to go out and get some fun in their life. And if you're in a situation where you're being pressured to do either alcohol or some sort of drugs, just say no. Don't feel pressured into having to do that. Don't feel like you have to do any of that to have fun. You can simply be there and have fun sober. You can just tell them that you're the DD, or that you can't, or that you have an exam tomorrow. people really don't care. It's more so a way to make you feel more comfortable, but if you feel comfortable without it, that's even better. After you were done dorming for a year, the odds of you wanting to dorm again, depending on your situation at home, will fluctuate back and forth, in a sense of, if you have a good foundation at home, like your parents are cool, they're not super strict with you, you get along with your siblings, it's no real reason to dorm if you don't have to. But if you don't have a good environment at home, and you know you can't be successful at home, and that you are a lot more prosperous when you're on campus around people that have the same mindset as you, then I would say dorm again. But your second year at college, after you got that first year of just pure fun out of the way, now you have to focus more on your academics, and you have to really just prepare for your future. This is a perfect time for you to hop on self-improvement. So if you are dorming, you can still have a good social life, but now you're not going out every night, you're not going out every week. You have other things you want to work on and other goals you want to achieve that will require you to put in more effort weekly. So instead of going out to a bar, you're going to stay at the dorm, go to the tech lounge, and start using Excel, start figuring out ways to improve your resume and other stuff that will land you an internship. That's your focus now. It isn't necessarily to go out, get drunk every night, and get girls' phone numbers. It's to simply focus on taking that next step in your profession and actually getting a career. It's something that you've probably never really thought about, but with age comes more responsibilities and different things that you have to actually work towards. So by taking that time away from partying, you're putting it more towards your academics, your school, and your professional career path. Not saying you can't party every once in a while, because you will need that mental break, but just in terms of going out, it's just severely reduced. So that's why I wouldn't even recommend people dorming unless they really have to. You can still have fun at home. It's just, it really all just depends on your parents and how you were brought up. Because if you're accustomed to going out every night, and then all of a sudden your parents are super strict and they won't let you go out, and you can't even socialize anymore, then I think that's a huge detriment. You have to maintain socialization no matter how busy you are. You need to make time for talking to people, going out, and maintaining relationships. If you don't take time to maintain your relationships, all that effort that you put in towards them a year or so ago is all for nothing. You talked to this person, you made a really good connection with them, and you guys are boys, and he wants to hang out with you, you want to hang out with him, but if your parents don't let you leave the house, then that relationship ultimately will suffer. And it's not worth it if all the relationships and friends you made the first year at college are going to waste now simply because your parents won't leave you outside the house. If I were you, I would honestly have a talk with them. You have to put your foot down and tell them that you're a man now, you're growing up, sophomore in college, you can make decisions now on your own. You don't need them to necessarily dictate your entire life, and you have to be able to go out maybe once or twice a week to just talk to people and leave the house. Keep your mind open, keep your thoughts creative, and tell them how big of a detriment it would be if you have to dorm now simply because they won't let you leave the house. And if you put it that way, I know it's harsh and it might be difficult, and they might even yell at you, especially if you have brown parents, but you have to be completely honest with them, and you can't be fearful of what they think now, especially in this situation. You have to trust yourself and understand how much the world has changed since they were in college, or since they were your age. So they may want the best for you, but they don't necessarily know the best for you. The only person that knows best for you is yourself. So if you truly believe that they will hinder all sort of relationships that you worked an entire year towards making, and ruin friendships that were meant to last a lifetime, then by all means go out and dorm. You got to do what you have to do, and I fully believe in fighting for what you believe in. So make that decision. If you need to talk to me about it, feel free to DM me. I'll be more than happy to talk about it with you and help you come to a conclusion. But that being said, college dorming for a first year, freshman year, go crazy. Meet as many people as you can. Stay out of trouble though. That's the one thing. Don't fail your classes, because I know a lot of people freshman year, they have too much fun and just forget that they're a student. So don't put yourself in that situation. Do not go on academic probation or any of these low GPA warnings. That's literally the last thing you want to do. Even if you're an athlete, you have to maintain a certain level of academics. Otherwise, they won't let you play, and you might lose a scholarship, and that's just not a situation you want to be in.